Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahushai, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahushai, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahushai, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahushai. First and foremost, all praises, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh. Devils, apostles, bishops, elders, a great millstone that rule well. And shalom to you brothers on the highways and byways, doing the work sincerely and faithfully, and continue to fight in that good fight of faith, Lord willing. We have found that number to be delivered. Alright? So before we get rolling, I want to speak about the things to come. Alright? And the things to come. How can one be affirmed, ensured, and know about the things to come? Alright? The Lord has always put in place throughout history prophets, men of the Lord, seers, to tell you about things to come. Alright? And it's nothing new, man. Even in today's society, we have there's measures put in place that's going to foretell you or warn you about things to come. Right? And even the safeguard of having alarm systems, having dogs, having cameras around your house, these things are going to alert you about things that are going on, right? So likewise with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, the Lord has always set up his prophets to tell you about things to come, all right? Now, the amount of groups that are out there, primarily these Christians, you know, because Christianity has reigned all throughout Babylon for years, right? The problem with Christianity is they don't give you warning about things to come, right? Yeah, we're clearly living in these last days, and the things that are going on throughout the four corners of the earth are dire, man. So much so to the point where, you know, people are losing faith in humanity, so to say. They're losing faith in, you know, the system, right? But why is that? And how is that possible? So again, being warned about things to come, all right? Now, Isaiah 42:9, the Lord spoke about before he tells you of these things, before they spring forth, he's going to tell you of these things, right? He said, declaring the end from the beginning, right? Give me a second. Slovakia. Declaring the end from the beginning. And before they spring forth, the Lord said he's going to tell us of these things, right? But how is the Lord telling us of these things? The men of the Lord whom he has chosen and whom he has set up, which most people in Babylon the Great don't take much heed to, you know. But you're slowly but surely seeing these things unfold right before your very eyes. All right. And now that we have been set up, we're on the highways and byways, we're now warning you about the calamities, about the tribulation. All right. What are some of the things to come? All right. We know that there's going to be a time of Jacob's trouble, which should be one of the forefronts of the conversation amongst you Israelites, man. That should be one of the forefront conversations, because it's going to involve a group of people who have always despised you and hated you. All right. And not just Esau, Edom, all them heathens, man. What do you think Psalms 83rd chapter was all about? It spoke about them gathering crafty counsel. You think that counsel has been dispersed or disbanded? Right? They're still here today, man. They just do it on a different level. All right? They do it by means of, you know, poisoning your food. You know, restricting you from getting ahead, so to say, as opposed to just killing you. All right? And again, this is why when we go out there on the highways and byways, we make our shows we're giving you the information, because the Lord said, He said they will, His prophets and His servants will never hold their peace day nor night. That's going back to Isaiah the 62nd chapter. We're never going to hold our peace, man. Especially that the spark and the flame has been lit inside of us. There's nothing better else to do on this planet but prophesy the downfall of these nations, the downfall of this kingdom. These are some of the best times. We're living some of the best times of our life right now. Seeing these things unfold, seeing these things happening. You know? What you see going on over there in California. These people right now, their lives have been changed forever. Forever. Alright? Because usually what happens is when you have so-called natural disasters, right? The insurance companies are right there to lift you up, to get you back on your feet. But what they do, all those insurance policies that were canceled, unbeknownst to the homeowners, they ain't, listen, there's no return from that. There's no hope. So now people are turning their attention to FEMA. FEMA's only going to do so much in the guise of doing something. But this has all been strategically laid out, man. They're going to bring you people in this country to your knees and force you to take on what they have going on, man. They're going to force you to. Right? But again, we've been prophesying about these things. We've been telling you that the devil's going to come down having great wrath. And the masses of people who aren't really involved with those fires out there, they don't really pay too much attention to it. They'll see it on the news and they'll talk about, oh yeah, it's awful over there, it's awful. And that's another thing that happens in this country or in life, period. If the calamity doesn't involve you, then you're not too concerned about it. All right? But when you read Revelation the 13th chapter, talking about the MOT, right? He says it's gonna cause everybody in the whole world to be under subjection of the MOTB, man. So don't think just because you ain't involved with those fires over there, you ain't got nothing to worry about. This devil has got this thing in order, man. He got this thing in check, right? And the Lord has given him the ability to do so. But we've been telling you, we've been warning you. And again, going back to those warnings, the Lord is just and fair, man. The Lord's a just power. All right? Did not we mention that before something happens, the Lord said before it spring forth, He's going to tell you of it? So before the time of Jacob's trouble comes, we're telling you about it. Before the MOTB gets fully implemented, we're telling you about it. Before this devil comes down having great wrath, we're telling you about it. Before the thermonuclear destruction comes, we're telling you about it. And this is what the so-called Christians and the Jehovah's, these guys, they ain't telling you a shit. They ain't telling you a damn thing, man. All right? Here it is in the time of warning, right? In the time of despair. The only ones that are telling you and warning you are the servants of the Lord whom He has set up, man. From the head apostles on down. Ezekiel 33 said, when a sword come upon the land, right? The prophets are telling you about the sword that the Lord is about to bring upon this land. What are you to do? How should you receive that message? Inquire further. Inquire. What do you mean it's going to be a sword? And therefore the prophets and the men of the Lord can explain and expound upon what the Lord is about to bring to this place, man. You go see any other group or any other so-called, denomination, they're going to tell you, just love Jesus. Jesus loves you. That's all they're going to tell you. You're brothers. We're brothers in the Lord Christ. We're brothers in the Lord Jesus Christ. All right? But if they ain't warning you about that sword that's going to come upon the land, what good are they to you? Useless. These men are absolutely useless to you. Right? So here we are. Here it is 2025, and people are looking around the world and saying, "Oh, this is unheard of. These things are unheard of." Well, of course they're unheard of to an untrained ear, if you will. The prophecies, the Bible lays it all out, man. The Bible lays it all out, and this is why when you're dealing with these other groups, this is why you got to question them thoroughly, man. What does that mean? What does this mean? What does the time of Jacob's trouble mean? Who's that for? Has that happened yet? Right? But a lot of people don't want to ask no questions. The American system has dumbed you people down so much that as long as you can fucking party and bullshit and have fun, that's all that really matters to you. But wait till the things that start popping up. Wait till you can't get food. Wait till you can't get, medicine. Wait until you call for help and there's no help coming, man. These are the things to come, right? And as we resort to the book of 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, all these things that we speak about, we bring that book out. It brings it to more of a realization that the Lord is about to open up, man. You're seeing on the news people getting robbed, shot, people getting, kidnapped, right? Didn't know the scripture says a man will have no pity upon his neighbor? I mean, venturing out there in the streets these days, man, if you ain't circumspect, you might get got, man. If you're heading on a swivel, because the Lord is doing that right now. He's making, the love of many wax cold. And we of the hopeful elect, we're not saying that, just because we believe we're the hopeful elect, that, we're just going to walk around aimlessly. Absolutely not, man. We stand on top of our grind. We stand in the spirit and identifying things through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And that's what a lot of people can't do. And that's what a lot of people have not been given the ability to do, is see things through the spirit, man. When you go and tell somebody, certain things through the spirit, they're not going to understand you. You're going to be speaking a totally different language unto them. And one of the things that they're going to say to you, well, how do you figure that? Well, how do you see that? But where did that come from? Because these things are spiritually discerned that we're talking about. You got to be able to see it through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Right? But again, the Lord spoke about declaring the end from the beginning. That's important to know, man. So the things that we're seeing and the things that we're speaking about have already been foretold, have already been put in place, man. And this is why it's a beautiful thing to know if you are involved in this thing of ours, and if you are involved in being, true and sincere and being a believer and having faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushai, right? These things are much more comforting to you when you hear about the calamities, the destruction, all these so-called bird flus and these companies, recalling all kinds of food products because E. coli and all this other nonsense. The scripture spoke about in the land of our captivity, we're going to eat out defiled bread, right? So again, we're not surprised when we hear about all these things that Esau's been doing to the food. We were told we were going to have these things take place concerning our food being defiled. Ain't nothing fresh, ain't nothing truly new, ain't nothing truly good for you. All right, but again, that's another warning to you. All right, that's another sign to you. Like, well, all right, let me pay a little more attention to what's going on. Right? And at the end of this thing, those who you truly trust in, the ones who are setting these unrighteous decrees, the ones who are putting forth, these laws, they're not about helping you, man. They're not about helping you. And the only way this can go down the proper way is if the Lord destroys them. Is it not written in the book of Numbers, the 35, chapter 35, about the land cannot be cleansed unless it's cleansed by those who shed blood? So that's telling you right there, man. Those individuals who have been, delighted to shed blood, their blood must be shed in order for things to be made right. Okay? We've been telling you these devils are nothing but blood suckers, man. They love blood. They love seeing blood. They love shedding blood. They love drinking blood. And you ain't gonna know these things unless somebody tells you. Unless the prophets who've been set up tell you these things, warn you about these things. You ain't gonna know a damn thing. And this is why those who are so steadfast in this Christian faith, so-called Christian faith, you're being led right into that pit, man. A lot of you jakes are being led right into that pit because they believe none of these things are gonna take place. That we're just doing nothing but trying to put the fear into people. You goddamn right, man. If something's going down, like them cities that are burning out there, if somebody's coming in, you're gonna say, listen, man, don't go down there. It's burning up down there. Don't go down there. Now, you've warned them. You gave them warning. Now, if they choose to go down there and get burnt up, that's on them. But at least you have that warning. At least you gave them that warning. All right? These other denominations out there, these worldly churches, they ain't warning you about a goddamn thing, man. And that's why when the Lord said there's going to be a famine of hearing this word, because the warning's going to cease. All right? The instructions are going to cease. The men that you chose to mock and make mockery of are not going to be around anymore. And that's going to be a beautiful time as well. Because what are you scoffers and scorners going to do then? After we done warned your asses about the sealing up of this word and hearing this word, after we done warned you that all hell's going to break loose over here, then what you going to do? So don't wait for the time to jump in and be about it when all shit starts breaking loose, man. All hell starts breaking down. People are going to see real soon what the Lord has told his prophets and his servants to warn you about. And then and only then will it be crystal clear to you that these men who you've been making fun of all these years were the ones you should have been taking heed to all these years. Right? But that warning that's been going out, and more so now, as we're coming down the wire to this thing. 2007, 2008, 2009, right around that time, the Lord was strictly gathering, man. Even though the word was going out, the Lord was waking people up. The Lord was putting his spirit out there on the spirit of going to the hopeful elect, to those who truly believe, to those who are predestinated to hear the word, man. Now, mind you, some fell away. Some fell to, the stony places. But the word is not stopping, man. As it is written, many are called, but few are chosen. So we hope and pray that we're continuously in that number that the Lord has set up. The Lord knoweth, man. The Lord knoweth, but it's our job to continue fighting. It's our job to continue giving diligence to make that calling and election sure. We ain't resting that, we out there on the highways and byways, so we secure. Absolutely not, man. We're going to continue fighting and fighting and fighting until the Lord willing delivers us up from the destruction. When was the last time you heard any Christian group, right? Any group that speaks about love and happiness and prosperity? When was the last time you heard them speak about calamities coming upon the earth? Lord coming, back with vengeance. Did not Nahum say that? The Lord is furious and is furious and will not at all acquit the wicked. So if the Lord is furious, that means that fury exists until this very day, man. And the Lord's not going to be happy until he has his people set up in their land that he's provided for them. And he's going to be dwelling amongst us. And then, and only then, will we can be called joint heirs with that new covenant, man, with Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. But again, it's a process, all right? It's the vision. As it is written, as a vision is set for an appointed time. But at the end it shall speak, right? And we see this vision speaking. We see the things unfolding. And this is what a prophet does. He sees these things and he goes out and he blows that trumpet. The scriptures speak about that trumpet giving a certain sound. How are you supposed to know if the trumpet is bringing a sound of war if you ain't familiar with the sound of the trumpet at all? Alright, because we've been blowing the trumpet on the highways and byways. We've been telling you about these things that are coming. We've been telling you about, repenting, getting back to the Lord, getting back on, getting back in the proper spirit. Alright? But that trumpet that's being blown is a trumpet that has been voided in this kingdom. But the Lord is going to make a speedy riddance of Babylon the Great and any and all people that dwell in this place. Every walk of life, every soul that's in this place, outside of those who have the hopeful elect that get delivered, will perish in America. You are going to perish over here. You scoffers and scorners, this is going to be the place where you perish, man. You non-believers, you cats who've fallen out, talking shit, this is going to be the place where you perish. So get comfortable, man. Get comfortable, enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself and enjoy yourself with the laughter that you like to do. Because it's only but a short time now. Be right here. Yahweh Shai told us, when this gospel be noised into the world, then we know the end is going to come. Who else speaks about the end coming? Who else prophesies about the downfall? Who else prophesies about thermonuclear missiles destroying this place? Nobody. I made mention before and I'll make mention again. If you're tired of going to work, if you're tired of paying bills, if you're tired of being treated, piss poorly by every other nation of people on this planet, if you're tired of dealing with your woman coming up against you talking shit, if you're tired of paying child support in the sense that, like I said before, they'll drain you, won't leave you with a goddamn dime. Ain't nothing wrong with taking care of your kids, man. Ain't nothing wrong with providing financial, help for your children. But goddamn, leave some crumbs on the table for a brother. That being said, if you're tired of all this shit, then you should want this kingdom to go down, man. How much longer do you want to live under the thumb of your oppressor? Under the thumb of your enemy? Who for 1 minute don't give two shits about you or what you're going through. Think about it, man. Think about it. All you Israelites out there, all of you, every last one of you, anybody that has had any, so-called grandmother and grandfather, great-grandmother, great-grandfather in subjection or enslaved by the so-called white man, you should want this place to go down. Because when you look around and see these fancy buildings, see these fancy, Coliseum, all this shit that they built, those things were built because of the blood that was shed by your ancestors, man. And on top of that, this devil restricts you from taking part of any of the plenteousness, man. Very simply, just take a look at the condition Jake is in, man. Just take a look, man. Yeah, do you have a handful of Jakes who are, multi-millionaires? Sure you do. Sure, absolutely. But the higher percentile of Jakes in this kingdom are living damn near not even paycheck to paycheck, man. Just barely getting by, scraping and scrounging. Right? So again, you should want this place to go down. You should want to be, in a place of paradise where you can live, plenteously, knowing that your children don't have to, worry about going to these goddamn schoolhouses and being put under hypnosis, a hypnotic spell about history. All right, but I'm gonna leave it there. I was thinking about these things that are coming and how you people are to know about these things that are coming. The Lord has to set up servants and prophets that are going to warn you and tell you of these things. And this is true right across the board. And this is going to continually go on until the Lord destroys America. Until he puts you people in subjection. All right? So I'm going to end it with that. Lord willing, I'm going to see y'all another one. I'm going to say shalom for now.